No, but you might alienate a few people with the word social because the sh is a problem for many communities, no? Like, Palguni, Javanu che, social,
It's shosal.
social,
Shosal.
social.
The sh becomes a
Everybody
sa.
try,
Yeah.
everybody try. Social. Come on, teach us, master, teach us.
It's also socials.
Uh,
Sals. I think every
Socials.
yeah,
That'll be
people like
Delhi,
to
huh?
add an S after
Yeah.
any correct
Yeah.
hangout space. It was mochas. and-
So sweet. You
Yeah.
spend money on the brand and
I
branding
say
and
on
marketing.
Truecaller, if you look up my name, it comes as Riyaaz Mochas. Even now.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. God. Okay. We've got one of the most successful entrepreneurs from my generation, thank God. 74 born. I did some research to make sure, so we're not that far apart. Riyaaz Amlani is close to two people I know. One I know very well, Rustam Modi, a doctor who should not be practicing.
No.
And yeah, we'll get to him. And Kiran Saraskar. And all three of us are half Parsis, technically.
I didn't realize you're
Yeah,
half Parsi.
yeah. I'm half Catholic, half Parsi. You're half Mia, half Parsi. And Kiran is half
Maharashtrian.
Maharashtrian, half Parsi,
Yeah.
correct.
Rustam is a Setna.
Rustam is a full part. I won't explain that because that's unnecessary and could cause trouble. Okay, so controversial conversation for sure. Riyaaz, lots to talk about, but first, I want to keep a clip just to show Rustam because we work out in the morning every day. And we're sitting on the breakfast table and I said, Riyaaz is coming. Oh, just use my name. He'll tell you lots of stories. He acted like he's the great one and the famous one who's done everything and whatever. And that you will now, I can tell from your reaction that that's not quite true. So,
No, he's amazing. He's amazing.
and Kiran and you started Mocha.
We started Impresario together. That's the
Impresario,
company
okay.
that. So Kiran and I have been in school together. We were in
Oh,
college
that's the
together.
connection. I was trying to figure. Yeah.
We've grown up together. My best friend since I was 4 years old.
Oh.
And we started Impresario.
That sounds a little
together.
gay, but if you don't mind. And there's nothing wrong with gay.
No, there's nothing
Best
wrong.
friends since we were 4 years
Yeah,
old. We used to hold
you-
fingers and
You never
Maria,
forget,
the PR
you never
person, is
forget your
staring at
first
me.
one.
Sorry?
You never forget.
Well, his name is Kiran, and that's always like
yeah,
up for
ironically, my
debate.
wife's name is Kiran.
Oh my God, that's true. What do you
But
think of
to
that?
make the comedy further,
Oh, that's fantastic.
my house help is called Kiran, and momentarily we had a driver called Kiran too.
This is too much.
No,
It's
it
a
was
Greek play now.
It was a Neil Simon shit.
And
show.
Shah Rukh comes to visit, and you all go KKK Kiran, and there's no end to it. Oops, what a story! How can the best friend and the wife have the same name?
Ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Some people say it's transference. I don't know what.
I'm just thinking, and forgive me, but in more personal moments and all that, which Kiran are you calling out to? You know, throws of passion.
I would like to keep the mystery around.
You. Why these things happen? All right, so Kiran and you started that. Let's trace the journey from the beginning. Dad owned Berries.
Yes. So
For those who don't know, iconic restaurant in Churchgate area. If you grew up 70s, 80s, that kind of time, huge name. The entire walk of 5-6 restaurants.
yeah, Veer Nariman Road. There used to be talk of the
What is
town.
Veer Nariman Road? Were you part of the center now? The road, that place is called Churchgate.
Yes, it is called church.
That's always we're going to call it.
The church has moved along, but yeah, it's
That's
still
fine.
going behind.
Yeah, but it's Churchgate, Oval, Fountain. Don't give me names. You know that my area is called, there's Durga Jatya something Marg. It's just
Impressive.
Little Gibbs Road
Impressive.
before that. Yeah, so we got to stop this. Let's go with the old names.
Do you know what the name of the new Prince of Wales Museum is?
Oh,
Yeah.
How dangerous is the territory?
Not really.
How far can we go with this?
It's your show.
Is it the same name that's everywhere?
No, it is not. It
Okay.
is. I think it is. It is.
It is. Because he shall not be
Yeah,
named.
a lot of people with tickets just land up over there.
Oh my
instead.
God. But that's the one thing I have a problem with India. India has like 4 roads with the same 4 people.
Yeah.
For example, across India. Like you have an MG road everywhere.
MG
you have
road
Rajiv Gandhi road everywhere. You've got 3-4 roads.
And MG Road tends to be the main road.
It's always the main
It is the
road.
main-
It's like
it is,
so
it is.
confusing. Yeah. But all right, let's get back to Berry. So yeah.
Yeah, so my dad used to run this place called Berries. It
Mm-hmm.
was on this fantastic stretch. It used to have Talk of the Town, which is now Jazz by the Bay.
Or not just Jazz by the Bay. I think that's
Not
gone.
just Jazz by the Bay.
Yeah.
That was the later.
Some of us used to drink a lot and go there.
And
they
now it's
closed it.
Pizza by the Bay.
Oh, sorry, it's
Yeah,
Pizza by the Way.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there was the Ambassador Hotel and Society where I used to get Chef Augustine steaks.
Oh, to
Eh.
die for. That meat is not allowed in India now, and rightly so. But when we were outlaws, bending
Lived
rules,
on the edge, yeah.
What lovely memories. And that revolving restaurant thingy, the
Yeah,
Orient.
at the
what is
Ambassador,
it
yeah.
called? Pearl of the Orient. Pearl of the Orient?
It became Pearl of the Orient late. Earlier, it was just called the Revolving Restaurant.
True. And you could see the Cricket Club of India ka
Yeah, it
stadium
was
thingy
fascinating.
at one point.
That was the place I remember my father used to take me for my birthday dinners. Because
Or
I used to
to,
love that.
make a point. Better do better, beta, or...
Point well made. Point well made.
It's
yeah.
it's a slow move. We don't have them anymore, these revolving restaurants.
No, we
But it's a
don't.
nice feeling to it.
It is.
In
It
an
is.
hour, I think it would do a whole circle.
Yeah, one round every hour. I think.
Yeah.
And it was quite subtle and smooth. You hardly noticed it, but every now and then when you looked outside, you had a different view, which was.
And if you brought kids along, they'd always misbehave and we're just staring, waiting for things to happen. It's really slow.
The toughest thing was if you went to the loo and came back, then you didn't know where you were.
Really?
Yeah, you had to then kind of.
I was too young to drink. It would have been quite an experience, I would think.
Yeah, I know.
In those days.
It was a different kind of a glamour those days, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was a lovely city. Who was the chief minister then?
We are too young to get nostalgic.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
But there are many reasons for nostalgia. It's not just, it's also forced for some reason. But Berries. So Berries restaurant, iconic for anyone growing up in South Bombay. And so you were introduced to food.
Yeah, so
In a sense.
Berries was
What a stupid comment.
was
You
one
were
of
introduced to the
cutting
world
edge
of,
restaurant which used to have the same menu that all other 5 standalone restaurants used to have, which was Gaylord's, Gallop's, Talk of the Town. It was butter chicken, roti, Chinese,
Love.
Manchurian,
Love.
and
Indian Chinese,
chicken
love.
a la Kiev and mushroom stroganoff.
Not that.
That was the menu that
Continental zone, I think.
Indian, Chinese, and continental.
Yeah.
Or Mughlai Chinese.
The
and
most secular
continental.
people in India are the restaurateurs.
Yeah.
We just take every fucking cuisine and we dump it on the brand and say boom.
You should see what's happening to Ahmedabad right now. It's
There's a stadium there.
Szechuan dosas,
Famous
and,
stadium.
yeah, guacamole, idli. It's amazing.
But it's all veg now.
Yeah.
So what will I eat?
You do get. I know there's a store in Ahmedabad which serves Jain chicken pizza.
What the hell is that?
So the thing is that people want to eat chicken, but they don't want to get busted. So they give you a pizza with chicken, but without onion and garlic. So when you go home, you could go home with
now,
fresh
Riyaaz,
breath and a clear
Is this your
conscience.
stand-up bit that we're going through?
No, it's a
or-
true story. Look it up.
I got to
This
investigate
store
this.
is in Navrangpura. I used to have a
What's
mocha
going
right
on?
outside the IIM. And there was a store which said Jain chicken pizza. And it was always packed. And like I actually went there and I said, "Such hai bhai." So they explained this to me that they will eat chicken, but they will not eat onion and garlic because that's the way it is.
It's an interesting point. Because
Yeah.
It's like karmic theory. So you got a good point here and a bad point there, and you weigh the thing,
Yeah, it
right?
balances
I'll
out.
do the
Yeah.
chicken, but I won't do the garlic. And then the onion is gives you the 2-1 series victory.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hence you can carry on. Man, I love the way we human beings navigate these things. Great to know. So, so you grew up in St. Mary's, right?
Yes, St. Mary's.
Same school that produced the athlete of India, Kunal Vijayakar. And maybe there's irony. When growing up in the 80s and 90s, St. Mary's was the tough school of South Mumbai. Okay, very good at sports. Riyaaz will tell you.
Yeah.
And all generations.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. Okay, you must be, but you were a biggish boy, but I'm sure you were good at sports.
Yeah, I was good in sports.
I'm sorry, come on, he's Baikala boy. Vijayakar on the other hand, okay, he only came out when Ganpati was on because that was his sport, and he could
Raising of the wrist, don't forget that.
yes. His forearms were well developed. It's an all-male school, guys. What do you want them to do? They can't just play hockey all the time, yaar. Yeah.
We got by.
So you
With that one crooked stick.
there you go. You did well after with all your Kirans. Man, your infatuation for anyone called Kiran, he's in love. So you and St. Mary's, your dad's restaurant is thriving. When did you decide to go in this direction? And I want to talk a little bit about your grandmom because I'm told that the Parsi side played a very big role also.
Yes. Anybody who's born to a Parsi household, even though they might not be part of the religion, they are Parsis in the head, right?
Correct.
I think.
Do you bang into doors? I did this test with Cyrus, whose dad left the family when he was very young. So the Parsi isms aren't there. But the
Yeah.
DNA is there.
The DNA is
So I
there.
did the test. So we had a glass door on MTV. And we just, so all the Parsis banged into the door. They wouldn't see it was very see-through.
With their noses?
Yeah, noses, everything, whatever. Something, so depends on the mood. And he banged. It's amazing. And I told him, boss, Parsi chai, Parsi. Don't worry. You don't have to know Gujarati. You don't have to know prayers, nothing. Parsi.
It's one of our things. We can't negotiate doors
You
that
cannot
well.
negotiate doors, really. Amazing. Ratan Tata. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So you tell us. First, the grandmom and the influence. At that time, you weren't...
No, so my grandmother and my mother, of course, was what they call Taddan Parsis. And Yeah, it was masoor dal, brun
Masoor
pav,
Magos.
of course, and
The Masoor has to have mutton, by the way, just for the
Anida
yeah, Anita. Yeah,
for
that's a
breakfast. And
relative.
yeah,
He's
for
always there.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, dal chawal, kerini chutney, dhan saag on sad days. So yeah, full-blooded Parsi.
People don't know this. So Dansak is supposed to be eaten on a like a tragedy ka thing. Never on a like today's Khurat Sal while we're shooting, etc. So it's never on a festive
Yeah,
occasion.
festive with dhandar,
Yeah, Dandar.
dhandar,
He knows all his rules. Of
and the
course,
inflections.
today nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's really sad. So I remember a lot of people asking for Dansak, even when it's like a negative situation in the person's family because they have no idea. So don't do that. Why
Yeah,
did Dansak get so popular, Riyaaz? With non-Parsis, I mean.
I mean, it's delicious.
It's delicious, yeah.
It's delicious, and that mutton and that that sweet caramelized rice.
Yeah,
It just hits the
lovely.
right notes, and the masala wala
God, I
dal.
feel like eating it right now. What do you get me? Dosa.
We're talking about my Parsi roots, yeah.
And the cooking thing.
And my friends call me a Puslim because I'm half.
Yeah, I like Puslim. Can
Yeah.
we use it? No riots, please.
The thing is
Yeah,
that,
Puslim.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
Puslim.
weird thing is that you think like a Parsi,
Yeah.
but you'll end up acting like a Muslim. So that
Yeah.
it just gets you like it's a double whammy.
But a lot
Yeah.
of common food, and, depending on which part of.
Yeah, I ate well. Growing up, I ate
Fair enough.
really well.
But were you into cooking yourself and all that?
Not at all. I still can't cook. I
Hmm.
need a recipe to boil water.
Really?
I cannot cook. I can make eggs. I can make really great eggs. But other than that, no, nothing.
He's talking about his spermatozoa. What the hell is he talking about? Yeah.
Oh, speaking of eggs, this building is this is IVM or IVF?
IV. Okay, so today,
Okay.
all the comedies in the hands of the young Amlani. Nothing for me to do here. Just point out that one kid is male and one is female in his life. So,
Four male, one female.
that's true.
Yeah.
Back to no, I just want. So the grandmom's cooking and her style influenced you.
It was my grandmom and my mother both. My
Yeah,
my,
not
my
to
mother
take your mother
is
out of the
my mother
equation,
is
yeah.
an excellent cook, and I keep like harrowing her every week. I said, send me something, send me dal chawal, send me something, and the poor lady does manage to rustle up something for me. But I still, at the end of the day, that what you grow up eating is your comfort food, right? So
See, now your Muslim Parsi thing doesn't help. If you were Maru Gujarati, you'd have put both the nani and the mom in the kitchen. And you've got free service and great food. Still time.
And I still have in a certain sense because a lot of the things on the social menu have
Come from there.
come from there. So there's Nina Auntie's Dhan Saag, which is
It says that?
my mom is called Nina.
No,
And-
it says that on the menu?
Yes, it says it on the menu. So that's part of it. Then we have the Irun Jangli Poro, which is also on the menu, which again comes from
Yeah.
my mom's side. So yeah, there has been some family exploitation that has occurred. Yes.
So let's now trace the thing. So Berries is going on. Then from what I gather, you went to UCLA. You went to the States.
Yes, to study entertainment management.
What the hell is that?
I didn't get into the restaurant business. My father was doing his own thing, and me and my mother were doing our own thing. And I was running a shoe shop at that point of time
Yeah.
for about 7 years.
What shoe shop was this?
It was called the Shoe Wagon, the shoes that take you places.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Which
and-
is all shoes.
yes, of course.
Well,
Because,
if they don't, why you
it's
buying
really
them?
awkward to walk around barefoot.
Uh,
So yeah, I was doing that for about 7 years. It's now an ATM on Science Circle, just that big. Yeah,
this is you alone as a
This is-
young lad
as a young lad.
with no partners, nothing.
No part.
So how did you get the?
So me and Kiran used to always meet up for some class or the other, and we used to always have some harebrained scheme, ranging from selling shoes to trying to industrial supplies to creating our own brand to selling furniture together. We always had a harebrained idea. And after I gave up my shoe shop, I got into the entertainment business, which is setting up amusement parks and bowling alleys and stuff
yeah, I
like
read that.
And then I got into
So
the
you're the
movie
first guy to
business.
do this.
Sorry?
Or
Yeah,
amongst the
I
first
mean,
guys?
at that point in time, I think it was 1997 when
I remember it was very big for a little while. The
Yeah, for
bowling
a
alleys.
very,
yeah.
very little while. For
No, we all used to
it
shoot
was-
there, and because all the young people, the trendy people, would come to these
Yeah.
bowling alleys and what's that thing called?
Go-karting and
Go-karting
bumping
in-
cars.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fun.
I'm guessing that's what you meant.
No,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. that's as much as I can do now at my age. Yeah, but no, for a while it was the big thing.
It
And-
was
and-
really huge, and then the government imposed a 45%
I
entertainment
love
tax
the
on it,
government.
and then it just
They
got
sent us
wiped
back
out.
to cricket. No, beautiful.
Yeah, it did actually. It did.
Yeah.
But what I really noticed was when I was that people, while we really like we come for the activity, but we stay for the food. It was like that. So everybody who came there was. After some time, they were shameless. They didn't even go bowling. They just sat down and had
Had
the
a pitcher
coffee.
and all.
Yeah, and had the beer. If you remember, Phoenix Mills was
Yes,
the,
exactly that. I was thinking of that.
Yeah. And then actually, while I was looking at that, I kind of realized why bother with the bowling alley? Just
They don't need the excuse anymore.
yeah. Let's just keep the.
I
let's
think that's
just-
a bit unfair. It was catching that part as well. There were lots of hardcore people who like to play. I think you also had pool
I've had pool.
and all those
It
things.
was huge for 3 years.
Yeah,
It was massive. But then, like I said, the tax structures
it was
changed.
big in Delhi also. I remember we did a lot of shoots there.
Yeah.
Because that's all the trendy people would come, the youngsters would come.
That
So you
was
had
a new thing at that point in time.
No, the hardcore guys who would actually play, and the people like us who just wanted to eat and drink, and lots of
Yeah.
good-looking people around.
Yeah,
and
it
so,
was a nice high energy
what is that?
atmosphere.
What is the thing?
Something that I think people didn't have something to do in the daytime. Right? That's something that Bombay very sorely missed. It was that you
Bombay
just
also-
didn't have anything to do besides.
True. Well, there was one thing, but I mean, how much can you? I mean, ours was
mean, how much
magazines.
can
And, I mean, it wasn't even like. I mean, it's,
how much MTV can you watch?
Yeah, okay, MTV. Let's put it that way. But remember, we used to use this phrase called "good crowd." It's
Good
always
crowd.
about good crowd and
crowd,
all that.
good
So I
crowd.
remember that phrase was
There was definitely a divide at that point in time, wasn't there? It was
The
like
trendy, the non-trendy.
Yeah, it was the South Bombay people versus the rest.
oh, is it?
Yeah, and it was a classist
The way- that
kind
was
of
the
thing,
Vijay
and
moment.
mainly perpetrated by the Parsis.
Yeah. And rightly so.
Because all the Parsis only
If you're-
stayed in South Bombay.
So if you're in Malcolm Bagh, you're not allowed
no,
to cross.
No.
Yeah.
They're the Satanists.
Yeah. Oops. Do you know the story behind the Satan?
No, don't say that.
As we get into trouble.
Yeah,
no?
we will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't even know it's how true it is. You'll never know.
It's not true at all.
Yeah. How do we know 200 years ago what happened in places? And
It's
all
still
that?
happening.
People mate all the time, Riyaaz.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Just because you're in love with Kiran and Kiran, it sounds like a law firm now.
true. And Kiran,
And Kiran. No, one guy left you, right? The guy,
the driver.
driver. How confusing is that on your phone? And please tell me your wife is Kiran 1. Because
No,
by chance,
my-
Salaskar is 1 and she's 2.
My wife is Baby. Kiran
Oh,
is
smart.
Sally. Yeah.
Kiran is Sally.
Yeah, and
Baby and Sally.
the house help is Kancha.
What is that?
It's just his name now. So
You just made up a name.
yeah, Kancha. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so you've done a lot of things before you get into the restaurant thing.
Yes, I've
Where was
kissed a lot
America
of
in all
toads.
this?
It was a brief period of time between my shoe shop and my entertainment career.
Why did you close the shoe shop? It sounds like an idea ahead of its time.
Yeah, it was very unique, and nobody was wearing shoes at that point of time. We were running around barefoot.
Sayan Baba, तूने South Bombay के बारे में बात की अभी. हाँ.
So I remember very clearly in my head there was this one moment where I decided this is not for me. I was haggling. I was selling slippers. That was a big thing to sell. Everybody who came to buy shoes bought a pair of Hawaii slippers. It was
Doing better.
Hawaii slippers. Everybody had Hawaii slippers.
Okay.
Right. That was
This
your.
is colorful ones, no?
No, it was just the white with the blue stripes.
Huh.
The Hawaii
Jen is giving me a look from there.
Yeah,
And
this is no Parsi privilege.
Riyaaz,
It's
listen
okay.
to what our PR person said. She said rubber. No, I don't understand what that means.
It's protection for your feet.
Yeah, well
Yeah.
done. We got a new Tendulkar. Okay, good stuff. Yeah.
Protection for your feet.
It is. it
Yes.
is. So you have no more feet. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
What
ahead
you
of its
said.
time, and
Yeah. So we were arguing for about half an hour about a 50 paise discount. And at that point, I said, maybe
Hmm.
you could spend your time better. And that's when I kind of ran through. And then I just ran through my head. I said, what Bombay really needs are places to go and commune with the city and feel like you belong to city.
right.
Because it really had no entertainment options. So I guess there was always this little itch to create something new. create spaces where people could gather. That was always something that was the common thread, I feel. So we started off as an entertainment consultant. I went studied that, came back,
So you went to
did my first
study.
project with the Hiranandanis, which was a go-karting
Yeah,
track
yeah,
in
Powai.
Powai.
People watching, if you're from our generation, very big for a little while, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I came back, and while I was doing this, I joined while the bowling company was created at Phoenix.
Hmm.
I joined Mr. Pratish Nandi for a while. And,
Oh.
yes. And then,
British Nandi Communications.
yes. And then I had this idea.
So, Riyaaz, you're going all over the place with this.
Yes,
you're doing
sorry. It is a rather convoluted.
Huh. No, so now you want to get into making films.
I'm a failed filmmaker.
Aren't we all? Huh.
And yeah, so in 20 years, 20 exactly.
He had an office in Nariman Point, if I remember correctly.
He had an office in Lionsgate, right
Yeah.
next to
Yeah.
Onstrom.
Huh.
Yeah, very
Okay.
nice office. So then me and Kiran and Varun were all on a holiday to Panchgani, as all Parsis.
It's really so
land are going.
cliche.
Rustam was there. And
You should have left him there.
we tried.
Huh.
And we were all just sitting out, and I think it was the Millennium New Year.
Hmm.
And we were just sitting out hanging. We were not drinking. I had some great coffee, which I brought down. And we were just sitting and chatting. And what we realized that, there's, at that point of time, somebody said that if you could bottle this moment, we'd make a lot of money.
Hmm.
So that kind of lit a bell. And as a frustrated movie maker, I went to Kiran and I said, look, I have this idea of opening up a coffee shop, serving many different types of coffee. Are you in? So he said, yeah, I'm in. And then, how much money do you have? He said, I've got 5 lakhs. I said, even I have 5 lakhs. I said, how much money does it cost to open up a restaurant? And I'm like, I don't know, 15 lakhs. So we went to our rich friend Varun.
Hmm.
And then Varun always had a lot of money. So he said, yeah, I'll give you the rest, whatever. And he also put in 5 lakhs. And we ran out of money pretty quickly. So
They couldn't afford the coffee.
we couldn't afford the furniture.
Huh.
So we just brought
So this is
whatever the
Churchgate, you took the spot?
Yeah, the church, the outside part of
Yeah,
Berries.
yeah.
So inside there used to be a live Hindi orchestra band that was going
You're
on.
really mixing the groups here. Huh.
And the outside bit was Mocha, where we were serving
That-
paninis and Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee.
And that smoking thingy thing?
The shisha,
The
the
shisha?
hookah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
was that controversial?
So, we kind of
What
did
do you
not
aim-
want to do a Starbucks
Yeah.
ripoff. What we wanted to do was we wanted to figure out a old school coffee house.
Hmm.
And we drew our inspiration from North African coffee houses. Right?
Mhm.
Then shisha was a big part of that culture. So people used to kind of sit down, coffee,
What do they put inside?
shisha, molasses, flavored molasses. That was the thing.
What the hell is that?
It's an extract from sugarcane, and you mix it with tobacco, and you put some flavor in, and you light it up. It's a pleasant
And it
experience.
makes you go a little crazy or calm?
It's not the medical.
Marijuana thingy.
Yes, no,
Which is
it's-
banned, and
it's-
rightly so.
Yeah, rightly
in many
so.
parts of the world.
It's
And may it
disgusting.
continue with this horrible. Who are those kind of people?
It's
who-
really ruining
Yeah.
the nation.
Firstly,
Yes.
ruining the nation. We can't even pronounce the word. Don't get products which we can't pronounce. Oh, mere paas marijuana hai. And all. I mean, it just causes trouble, yeah. Yeah. And MJ doesn't work in India. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, so we're just for the record against all that. So
Hit it.
that was the first thing, and you said you're way above budget.
Yeah, so we ran across. And so anyway, so Kiran, me and Varun started Impresario together with Mocha. Was a coffee shop.
Hmm.
And then, one thing led to another, and here we are. Yeah, 20 years later.
That's not exactly what happened. Huh.
You don't want to bore us people with history.
want- we
Come
want
on,
the-
this,
we-
this
we-
is
we
this
want
is
the
of interest to us.
No, we want the story because it's a first time entrepreneur, no real godfather or anything. Did everything on your own, and also a few failed businesses along the way, which is I think seems to be a story of all successful entrepreneurs.
Yes,
That many of them have done many things we don't know about till something really starts working. And,
absolutely. That's very
I
true.
mean, selling shoes, it just sounds completely left field from what you were doing. Then you go and start an idea which I really thought would have done really well. I didn't realize that it sort of tanked at some point because my memory of these bowling companies and these bowling alleys and all was like it was packed.
It
and
was packed. It
Big
did well
events
for
were
a while.
there and the works always.
Yeah, people got bored of it pretty quickly when they realized that there was work involved,
Yeah,
and that explains paddle and how popular that's become.
how long will that last now?
Very boy, it's the least amount of effort and
I keep it
most
at home.
amount of thrill.
I played at home. It's like a private thing.
Did you mean paddle or pickleball?
Well, I've been called worse, so yeah. So that's the start of Mocha.
That started us off on
Which
our
became a franchise, or you
yeah.
came
So
a,
we started franchising because that was all the money we had.
Hmm.
So we grew on the back of franchising. Then we came across this beautiful spot run by Mr. Rajiv Somani and Sunil Shetty at that point of
Oh,
time,
nice.
which was called
Mischief.
it was called H2O, which was this water
Right!
sports thing.
At Kulaba.
Yeah, on
We used to
Chopper.
go there. We used to
Yeah.
drink there. Yeah.
And they used to have paragliding and motorboats
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. And there's a little stretch of the beach which they let us build saltwater grill on.
This is the open air thingy?
This was that open air restaurant on Chopati, right at the
Yeah.
right next to Mafatlal.
Yeah, and you could look at the sea and all that.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was sand, and you could sit and have a meal on the sand.
I took a girl on a date there, and she fell in love with somebody else in that restaurant. That's why my memory.
You've got to pick your seating in a particular.
I always
way.
try to make sure the woman's looking away from humanity.
Ah,
How will she be interested in me?
exactly. That's how you
Use
do
your
it.
head. Yeah. So sad. So what you're not saying, because you're a modest man, is that you seem to have got the pulse right. It's not always successful, but the pulse is right. Mocha was crowded. You got the right crowd in. This saltwater cafe
Grill.
was.
It was on
ahead of its
Chopati,
time
which
again.
then became Saltwater Cafe in
Why
Bandra.
didn't we have any sea-facing thingies being a coast?
Government regulations again.
This government, we need to talk to you. This is because we're here to make money. I mean, this is not.
No, I think
ridiculous.
that any city which lives by the ocean should celebrate.
Yeah,
the
oceanfront,
Every
boat
city
key in
the
Singapore,
world,
those
yeah,
kind of thingies. All
everywhere
good.
in the world. But I guess there was this law called the CRZ, Coastal Regulation Zone, which does not allow any kind of development along the ocean. And for it's a well-meaning law. It's meant to protect the environment.
We've reached Mocha, but you built so many brands. I know you probably get irritated to relive every moment, but everything you did up to now sounds like a really good idea. In terms of youth, young people, trendy people, fashion, hanging out, commune as you call it, community. Except the shoe shop. the shoe shop was just pure business.
The shoe shop was a community place also. I remember all of us
What kind
shopkeepers
of
used
losers
to
hang out at the shoe
we used
shop?
to hang out in each other's shops just to take a break. So there was this guy who used to run a Monjani's next door.
I love Monjani's.
I used to walk across and we used to chit chat. And then there was a guy who used to run a little electronic store next door. So we used to go and hang out there. So it was a little bit of a community. And in downtime, people used to just pop across to each other's house. And again, it was the shops where you switched on the lights once the customer walked in. It was those kind of shops.
Air conditioning is my bugbear here. So many restaurants, they don't put it on till you walk in.
Yeah.
And
So weirdly, in my shoe shop, I actually I doubled my business once I couldn't afford the air conditioner. So it's weird stuff. Yeah.
You mean no AC got people to come in?
No AC got people to come.
So what you're saying is Indians are attracted to poverty. That what makes you happy.
No, I would not say at that point of time. The AC meant that you needed to have a door. The door meant opening the door. The door meant
nice psychology.
making a commitment. As the moment the door went,
Yeah.
people could just float in and out like the flies, and they felt no commitment.
So for the working women's hostel, get that door repaired. Okay, I don't need trouble.
Yes, step one.
In Colaba, that's where I met my wife. I used to just hang around like any creep, Working women's hostel. Nice place to start a business. Just kidding. So we've got Mocha. That you nailed that. That was successful. Your
Yeah.
franchise starts, etc.
And Saltwater Grill did well. We took that.
The spin-offs.
So we took that to Delhi and called it Smokehouse Grill.
Okay.
It was about smoked food and smoked cocktails. And then in Pune, it became Stonewater Grill.
All right.
So we were doing this fine dining restaurants and mocha, and then we decided to get into the casual dining business. So House Deli, which was the cafe version of Smokehouse Grill, and Saltwater Cafe became the cafe version of
It's a little
Saltwater.
confusing, but we'll take a quick break and then come back and clarify properly. Because now he's moved all over India. He's a pan-India presence worth crores of rupees, and the shoe shop is far behind him, and he's on the way to greater glory. But we take a break, Riyaaz. Is that okay?
Yes,
What
please.
can we offer you? It's all from social, just opposite.
I'm on a diet.
Are you?
No.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says, we welcome the bold and unapologetic duo Naina Bhan and Sakshi Shivdasani from the Moment of Silence podcast. The girls point out their frustration in modern relationships, splitting bills, and how they deal with online trolls with their trademark sassy humor and youthful energy. On A Century of Stories, Kunal tells us the story of how the Jaguar Land Rover came to India. Find out how Ratan Tata's leadership played a pivotal role in this iconic acquisition in the 2000s. Folks, if you like our shows, spread the word, tell your friends, and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. Follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You'll also find all our shows on YouTube by their show names, so do look out for them and have fun watching. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week, IDFC First Bank and Grab.
All right, we're back here where my engineer Toto has just said he's not spent any money at the social franchises of any kind, and we're going to have to discuss this with him. You're fired from PR, Toto, whatever happens. Luckily, we know the client. Huh.
And lots of headroom for growth.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So you missed one demographic, whatever that is. To target that. Sorry, we had to stop at the break.
And
but-
audio engineer executive.
yeah, executive. He's originally from where in Bengal? Dum Dum Airport. He's from the airport.
Listen, I have to say that Calcutta is the best food in the world.
I agree.
It's just
agree.
outstanding. I
I
mean, I
agree.
think it's the most underrated city when it comes to food. I
No,
think
no.
Delhi and Lucknow walks away with a lot of the credit, but I
Yeah.
think Calcutta by far has the best food in the country. It's just outstanding.
Yeah, I love that. What's the Chinese place called? We're trying to win you over. We're trying to win the engineer over, so just try to praise that part
Yeah.
of the world.
It's incredible.
Tantra.
Food-
What is
Ta-
the
Tangra.
Tangra.
Ta- Yeah.
Lovely. I love that.
Yeah.
And the rolls.
The rolls.
famous
Yeah,
rolls.
but the
Double mutton, double chicken, double this, double
the
that.
biryanis and with,
Oh, with the aloo.
with ek aloo, ek deem. Very important. You
Aloo
have
is
to have.
very important for me. I'm all for it. What do you say, Riyaaz?
The aloo is.
Are you
is-
pro
is-
aloo? Be honest.
Bro, listen, a Bombay guy always had aloo in his biryani. So we've used it. But
Of
the
course,
aloo
aloo could
in
be
the
your aunt.
biryani in Calcutta had a aloo and a pilu.
And a silo.
and a jaru.
Jero, silo, pillow, aloo.
Jaru Maguire.
Coming soon. Only in Calcutta.
Yeah. What were we
No, I
talking
was
about?
just-
We're talking about the aloo in
No,
the
so
Calcutta
the world is
biryani.
divided into pro in the biryani having the aloo or not having the aloo. Fight about this all the
The
time.
aloo is an art form
Yeah.
in Calcutta. It's just,
I can't think of any dish it doesn't enhance. I love potato with everything. Egg and potato I can put in anything except kulfi.
wafer and a thalli.
Yeah. Oh, so what about the sali, the old fashioned sali, which you don't get that
We
much.
have sali paridu on our
Yeah.
menu. Again, one more of Nina auntie's.
Well,
things
you tell
on a
Nina
menu.
auntie I'll be taking Toto to eat the sali. He'll get the sali, I'll eat the idu. We'll work out something.
You have to come.
Yeah. Now you upset him. Okay. He's the entrepreneur who the guest who he has to get is the one who doesn't want to come. That's the main guy. So we've got all these different saltwater grills and what have you.
Prithvi Cafe.
Yeah, Prithvi, how did that happen?
Well, it was being run, I think, by Prahlad Kakkar at some point of time.
The
And he
Kapoor
had-
family?
Yes, it's Sanjana.
Sanjana Kapoor, yeah.
Sanjana was running it at that way, and then Kunal stepped in to run it. And they actually, it's a beautiful thing what they're doing over there. Prithvi is
Sorry to interrupt. When we were young, the Irish coffee was famous.
yes,
but
and
I don't-
that was brought to you by Prahlad Kakkar, the ad man.
Yeah,
So he got you and that's what made that place famous.
yeah.
And after some time, I think they were going to give it to Cafe Coffee Day to run. And because they used the cafe to subsidize the theatre
Oh,
in many ways. So I remember Sanjana very clearly telling me, he says, Riyaaz, either you take it over or I'm going to have to give it to Cafe Coffee Day. That's how she convinced me that I should be doing
so
that.
it was like a mocha that we would do there first?
No, I refused. We did not want to do because I think Prithvi Cafe it was just a magical place.
Yeah.
You go there and they're Makran Deshpande and Nasruddin Shah arguing
Yeah.
over their four squares and screaming on top of their voices. This flautist who shows up every now and then. And it's just a magical place. It is so important to So when we went there, what we both agreed at that time, Sanjana at that point was that we will make 0 changes to the place. And now Kunal has taken over and they're running it with the same amount of passion. It's one of the few.
So is it your
Really-
thing or you just advise them?
No, so we run it as Prithvi Cafe on behalf of the
Okay. So where's your branding?
It does. It's Prithvi Cafe.
It should be Prithvi Cafe brought to you by Tere Mocha. No.
No. Yeah, Prithvi Cafe was doing just fine without our mocha.
Yeah, it's got its own stamp, no doubt about that.
Yeah,
Little
absolutely.
too leftist for my leaning, but which is fine too. Yeah.
That brings us to socialist.
Oh, socialist is your latest venture. Politician 50% off. Yeah.
In Bandra, in BKC, it's called Capital Social.
Yeah,
We'll
there you
figure
go.
that out.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Mm.
So what is it later after that? What came after that? As we progressed to the social? No, social came after that. Saltwater grill.
So we went through again a meandering journey. We kind
You
of
opened Delhi,
we were
Pune,
following trend.
Bangalore.
I think there was this kind of just being ahead of the curve, and there were many trends that were happening. I think at that point of time, fine dining restaurants with Indigo, Olive. It was.
But these keep coming and dying also, don't they?
Things change. We are leapfrogging certain consumption evolutions, right? We are moving at a much faster rate, and we also moving.
Why
at
do they last? In other words,
at
because they
trends.
seem to be doing well when we.
Trends. That's what they are. They're meant.
The
for a
trends are like
short-
marriages.
Short
They
period.
seem good for a little while, and suddenly you're like, "Why are you here?" Oh, that's what my wife says. Yeah. No, so honestly, a lot of these names you've named so many iconic places, and they've just
You know what's funny is if you go back and you look at the top 10 restaurants of let's say 2010, I bet only one of them would be open.
Seriously?
right now.
That
Yeah,
bad?
Yeah. It is.
and we
It,
couldn't get into these places.
it is.
Indigo and all were like packed, and you couldn't get in, etc.
It is one of those things. It is a business
It
which
dies
is.
very quickly. Like people just lose interest. What?
Well, if you look at some institutions, they didn't put a foot wrong. I mean, the food was brilliant as ever. The service was fantastic as ever. But it's just that some new shining.
No, some jokers like that Toto, the revolutionaries who just anti-food. They were like, people shouldn't eat.
Stay true, bro. Stay true.
Dum. He's a sweet guy.
Yeah, he seems like a sweet guy.
Yeah. What is the cheapest Amlani place I can go to if I'm a miser, conjuice, which I am?
Modi's.
Have you seen him make his breakfast?
Wellington Gymkhana.
No, so they've raised it up by 20%. Wellington and Bombay Gym.
Really?
Yeah, I eat 12 eggs in the morning. Now it's $200. Should be 177.
Ooh, you
So
should be
200
leading
bucks.
you should be leading a protest.
Well, all the rich people who are there are going to protest against
The
it.
committee.
But why? It's a non-profit organization. You shouldn't be raising the rate for nothing.
The true story in CCI during COVID times,
Hmm.
people used to actually go order food from the CCI canteen menu and then sell it online.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of money until he got busted. And this
So
stuff.
there's this one guy doing this, or
Yes,
more
one
than-
guy doing
Names?
this. Not that I'm aware of.
Friend of yours?
Mm,
Varun, Kiran, Rustam. Let's go down the list. One of these guys is up to some masti. Yeah. Huh. So then, from the salt waters, you moved to the socials. Is that the order?
So we were at that, I think in 2010 or 11, we opened up this restaurant called Smokehouse Room. And it was a really fantastic restaurant. We were doing very progressive food. It was very fancy with molecular cuisine and this and
What
that.
the hell is molecular cuisine?
It was at that point of time again a trend
Oh.
where cooking food was looked upon as a series of scientific chemical processes, and you kind of really altered textures and flavors, and you either brought them out and concentrated them. You could change textures. You could change flavors. You could really play with people's minds because you were breaking a lot of conventions when it came to what something that looks like this should taste like that. So it was a very scientific approach to cooking, and what we realized at that point of time was food should not be cerebral. Food should just be celebrated.
Really? I was
Yeah.
about to interrupt you. Then I said you might get offended. It was so
Yeah.
irritating.
It is.
It
It
brought
was
chemistry into the whole
It was
thing and-
pretentious, and it was a cathedral to my own ego.
Yeah.
And then what we realized was that I think that food needs to be. It should not be polarizing. It should be unifying in that sense. So, social was actually a response to that in many ways, where we wanted to create a brand that anybody.
And,
could
and it's a
come to.
mix match kind of thing.
Yeah, we wanted a brand that anybody could come to. There was a very Western focused paradigm at that point of time.
Yeah.
All the good restaurants and bars
Conti.
only had Western things on the menu.
Yeah.
Nobody had
Akuri,
keema
etc.
pao,
Yeah.
and nobody had masala peanuts and papads on their menus, because it was kind of, we didn't like to acknowledge that we were Indians. We all thought we were Parsis.
I'm in a gray area on this one. I'm not sure where to go. Yeah.
Okay. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course. Offline, we'll discuss this again. Yeah.
So it
Why
was,
did you open it?
and then it was really cool. Once I got into it, I just fell in love with everything that, there's this beautiful Indianness that we have, and the vernacular design language, the vernacular social spaces, where we as a community get together, from Marine
Why do you use
Drive.
the word social? What's it? What's the
So it was basically what we realized
no
again.
class social?
Well,
No, not no class like that. What I mean is classless, devoid of class.
we didn't think of it that way. We just thought that there were no places where people in a city could commune together, right? And with Mocha, we knew that people wanted to hang out, but they wanted to hang out for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So the amount of time that a coffee shop, because a coffee gets cold in 30 minutes, and then there's no reason for you to hang out there. So we came up with a lot of changes. We were inspired by the social spaces of India, what India uses as social spaces, right? Marine Drive is a social space.
Oh God, tell me
park-
about it.
The gardens, the parks,
Yeah.
and the Honeyman,
Yeah.
park.
Honeyman is the name of a road. Don't look at us. We didn't name these roads. They were before we were born. Huh?
Yes, Honeyman.
Honeyman, is it pronounced?
Honeyman.
No.
Man. Honeyman.
Honeyman. It's Horniman.
Honeyman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say man, I say man. I like the word man. What's the big deal? Oh, Honeyman is a Honeyman. I mean, that is the name of the place. It's not a person.
Mera man. Yeah.
Honeyman, friendly neighborhood.
So,
So it's a leveling sort of place for
yeah,
all.
the college canteens, the dhabas, the toddy shops. These are all
But did you
various
think-
chai ki tapris.
No, but you might alienate a few people with the word social, because the sure is a problem for many communities, no? Like, Palguni, Javanu che, social,
It's shosal.
social,
Shosal.
social.
The show becomes a
Everybody
sa,
try,
yeah.
everybody try. Social. Come on, teach us, master, teach us.
It's also socials. Sals, I think every
Socials.
yeah,
That'll be
people
Delhi,
like to
huh?
add an S after
Yeah.
any correct hangout space. It was mochas. and- God.
So sweet. You
Yeah.
spend money on the brand and branding.
I still
and
on
marketing.
Truecaller, if you look up my name, it comes as Riyaaz Mochas, even now.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. God. Wow, it's fabulous. I love this country only because of that. I mean, and they put it everywhere. The brand is everywhere. The name is everywhere. They put in audio, video,
See,
everywhere.
that's where Starbucks got it right, because they put an S just after their word. So
So what's the anti-social then? What was the idea behind that? Which I like, by the way, a lot. The
yeah,
factory
I
of
think it's a
social and-
little bit of a alter ego. Social is a place where we want people to gather, chat, have a conversation, hang out. Anti-social is about the music, and it's about the artist. So
it's a more elite crowd
it's-
that you want
no,
there?
it's not about that. It's like we've designed that place where there's just the stage and nothing else. There's no furniture. It's just a stage, and there are lights, and there's a good sound system, and there's air
You
conditioning.
used to perform.
No, fortunately not. I wanted customers. So yeah.
But you used to DJ?
I used to DJ in, I grew up in Baikala, so I used to be a DJ in Parsi weddings, and I used to
What
be
is that, yaar?
in Catholic fun fairs and jive sessions.
This is the easiest communities to be a DJ for.
Yeah.
Because everybody will sing. 10 people will play an instrument. You don't have anything to do.
Sing. There was my favorite, most requested song was Puppetani Sing.
Puppet on a sing. Very nice.
Yeah, which was
What
Puppet on
about-
a Sing.
Oh, puppet on a string.
Yeah.
You
the
will
birdie
be
does.
A puppet on a string.
A puppet
and
on
I
a sing.
will- and I will be most anything to you.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah, Elvis. Puppet on a
Shaking Stevens,
string. Or
Chubby
Apro
Checker.
second Steven. Huh.
So yeah, that was my DJing career. It was just two cassette players with one fader, and that was
But
it.
being an entrepreneur now, when you were a little younger, did the girls like you and stuff? Because I think that's quite a glamorous place to be, right? You own your
As a shoe
restaurants. But post the shoe shop. Shoe shop was your starting point.
I used to see in Xavier's College
Huh?
a lot.
Meaning?
You In Xavier's College.
Me?
Yeah.
What have I got to do with this story?
You were always hanging out in Xavier's College.
I was studying there for
Yeah,
5
I know,
years.
and you-
Some did 6.
And you used to have a little court outside in the college, and every day you used to host something or the other. And we used to just hold
I
court.
was just a loudmouth.
You used to hold court.
20% of
My
the
girlfriend
college.
was in Xavier's. She was, I think, 2 years junior to you. I think.
Oh, nice.
You passed out in
93. Stop the age thing, no?
Okay, yeah.
Boss, I've been praising you on your shows and everything. And you got a Parsi connect. You have to look after each other, Baba.
Yeah. 2003, right?
So you used to come and see us at Misbehaving in the Canteen, is it?
Yes.
This is a fellow called Nikhil Advani. I met him after a long time, who's now a famous filmmaker with a big stomach. So I couldn't recognize him in a beard and stuff.
Oh, he's just got a beard, no?
I don't know. He's 8 months, 7 to 8 months. But
He's
he's
a damn cool.
lovely guy. He's jogging and all that. So we
best
used to
guy.
sit there, and he made this guy called Tarun TK, who I don't know where he's gone now. He was in sound, and we used to do register with the pretty girls. So we take the names down, and we if they pass, we'd say their name, and they'd say yes. Oh, those were great days. Nobody got upset. There was no woke issue, nothing like that.
But the father got upset when he found out that I didn't have an ID. But other than that, yeah.
What are you saying? We all our friends would get in and out, no problem. The watchmen were friendly. Who was the father? Father Fraser? You wouldn't remember now.
I don't remember.
There were a
no.
couple of guys who were strict and all that, but you had to just avoid them. It was different times in India. Colleges in South Bombay were very easy.
Yeah, they're very different.
Very
But there was a kind of a
community.
college tour. It
Yeah.
was Xavier's HR.
Yeah. We had the space.
Yeah.
Where were you?
I was in HR.
So you had everything but the space.
Asaram Rejumal College
Well,
of
don't
Commerce.
get into all that.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful name, HR. And then-
House of Romance.
House of
Oh,
Romance.
got it.
yeah. And then, of course, we had little more space than you guys.
Oh
and
God, we are
we're the
getting too
woods.
nostalgic now.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, I like my 5 years in Xavier's. I did nothing. It prepared me for life. Because you do nothing,
Yeah,
basically. How do you kill time waiting for podcasts or whatever?
The
We
arts.
literally, yeah.
And the Malhar and the
Yeah.
Independent Rock.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
With Farhad Wadia saying, hey,
Oh,
Benchot, shut up. I'm trying to sing here, you bastard. Shut up.
Where is he?
He's in America. He settled down. He was very ill
Yeah.
for a long time, but now he's much better. Yeah. Oh, I have lovely stories of him. Really.
What he did, he created something for us, man.
He fought for his
Yeah,
rock music and he single-handedly kept it flying.
He
You got to give him credit.
He did.
And
Absolutely.
he was an entrepreneur as well as what people don't remember. He's a pretty good musician. Played good guitar, could sing and everything else. But, Gamadia Road, we had a small studio where we used to record radio stuff. And his dad, Kersi, if I remember correctly, would wear his lungi and his sadra. And very, very bad language. So we'd have these executives coming from JWT and all, Stevens College and some MIT and this and that and all. They're very well groomed and perfect. And you know how Indian Tamiz is with the seniors and you speak with a lot of Tamiz in front of older people. And he would come scratching his groin and say, Farhad, bread kya che? Benchot, bread kya che? Because he's not answering. And everybody would stiffen up in their suits. Because it was a house also. He knows. So some Parsi houses, nobody even... You're immune
It
to
doesn't
bad
register,
language.
yeah.
It doesn't register.
It doesn't register.
So they're arguing. Not now, fuck off now. I'm in a meeting, daddy. And then back to Mr. Prabhu, who's like, he felt like he was in some alien country, with some, and they're all huge, 6'4", 6'3", big fellows. What a guy. Amazing story.
No. Iranis are particularly fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Parsi thing of the Iruns is nuts. So you can imagine how bad it is. You're half Irun, huh?
No.
No
I'm
claim?
proper Parsi.
What is proper Parsi? Don't be racist.
I'm one of the people who came in 1,000 years ago, not the ones who came 100 years ago.
Fair enough. 100, 200
Yeah,
also.
200.
Yeah,
200 years.
yeah.
200 years.
You came 1,000 years ago, and the rumor is that the Parsis were trying to find Germany, right? And they didn't pay full rate to the travel agent who dropped them to the west coast of India. No daru, no meat. Now, which Parsi would have said, yes, let's go here? You tell me, give me the proof. There's a Frankfurt ki achha bench Frankfurt, I German. Excuse me, you German? And then this guy turns out and says, no garlic, no onion, no daru. And don't touch the women.
And they're like, you know what? We're not going to mingle with that community.
Yeah. What a story that is. Someone has to investigate that story. That
Yeah.
boat was going west. Anyway, so Riyaaz, before we pack up, we have a few questions from the listeners. But what's on the agenda now? Because you're a serial entrepreneur. You obviously can't stop. So is there
Can't
anything?
stop making cereals.
Yeah. And jokes. You've come to the right place. Go ahead. So is there something new?
Well, social is we've got a lot of juice. We want to take that to a lot more cities. There are a lot
What about
more.
outside India?
Ah, not now. I think India is there's a
We're-
lot of juice left over.
We're everywhere. All the big cities of the world, you have desis to begin with.
That's true. That is
You
true.
won't
That
not
is
have a
true.
market, I would think.
That is true. But I think it's very consuming just to being in India. So I think for a while our focus is going to be in
Who's us? Who's our?
us.
Is Kiran
Being,
part of
this
the
is
thing?
my fake modesty. Our company,
Oh.
Impresario.
One of my favorite newscasters also does that third person thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The third person thing is when I refer to
Yeah,
myself
as yourself.
Yeah,
But us in plural.
Riyaaz abhi
Yeah.
dusra restaurant banaya.
I like, do the whole show again. Let's start again. You tell us about Riyaaz.
Riyaaz Amlani ab naya show banayega.
Oh, superb. Fantastic. Okay, here's the first AMA question. What's your thoughts on tipping? Have you had any service charge banter with customers? Huge issue always for us
Oh
customers.
boy, you really raked up a hornet's nest. Service charge is actually one of I used to serve as the president of the restaurant association, and I'm actually a big believer in service charge.
Fixed service charge.
Yes, I am.
And then we don't tip.
No, because we are not a tipping culture. We are a bakshish culture, right? For us, a 10 rupee note is a guaranteed tip. I mean, that is no matter what the service provided. 10 rupees, which now has become
Which world is he living in?
10
10
rupees,
rupees se kya hoga?
which has now become
You
100 rupees.
dare bribe someone $10, they'll spit on you.
But listen, what do you think Parsis are doing all over the place?
Parsi, my dad bribed someone 2 rupees. He's not there anymore. It's the last Navjot for parking. And that guy's started, the horror in his face. I said, don't worry, I'll pay you. And I sent my dad off and I found some change. He said, they just don't understand. This is not a lie, huh?
No,
There are
I
Parsis
get it.
amongst us
It's not
who think
Parsis.
2 rupees is enough. It's absolutely a fair trade-off for parking the car or whatever. You don't need to go
so
over that.
we still, it's not just a Parsi.
They're right, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think what that does is it aligns the whole organization to provide every customer a great level of service. Tipping, on the other hand,
But they don't advertise it properly, no, Riyaaz?
it encourages people to. Some people get preferential treatment and some don't.
But that's the capitalist world, right? I pay and I get.
Yeah, but again, and what it also does is when service charge, it lets people know when they're paying the bill that this money is going to the staff. So they don't
Does
feel
it go?
it goes to the staff. And the reason why we insist upon it is if you include it in the bill and say, okay, we will pay our staff, some restaurants don't pay. Right? So I think it's a very fair and transparent mechanism. And also when you're ordering food at home through delivery, you don't pay service charge. Right? It is service charge is the charge you pay for getting served inside the restaurant.
What we do is we pay less to the guy. And then when the haggling and all that goes on, he gives up. So if it's 216, you give him 210. Because you don't have any more money. And that's it. Is that wrong? Especially if it's cold and he's shivering and, with the rain, etc.
Yeah, especially if he's on his deathbed. Yeah.
Hey, come on, bro. Don't blame what the government's done to him.
You're not that insensitive.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. What about COVID? How did your business manage in COVID? Did it do better because you were actually, we needed food
No, COVID was really one of the.
for the up and the high end.
It was the worst time for the entire industry.
Hmm.
It was horrible, and they had no idea how we would survive. And honestly, it was the staff that carried us through, because they.
But how do you pay the bills and all?
We
I know
couldn't. We had
people
no
closing
idea.
down.
We had no idea. We just had no clue. There were at that point of time we had 4,000 people who were working with
Wow.
us, and we didn't have. You didn't see this coming. So it's a cash flow business. And when COVID came, we didn't know how to pay the salaries, how to pay the rents, how to pay for food. And I actually went to the staff and said, listen, I cannot afford to pay you guys. So they're like, listen, don't pay us. Give us a roof over our heads. Let us stay in the restaurant. We will run the restaurants. We will do the deliveries. And we will kind of revive this business. So it's actually our staff that carried us through this COVID period. It was just crazy. What a thing to have lived through, man.
Really?
Yeah.
And not knowing when it would
It
end.
was an existential crisis for us. It was really.
Well, talk to me, Riyaaz. I fought for no masks. I fought for stopping everything and going back to normal from day one. So I honestly think at the end of
Are
the day...
you
it
an
would-
anti-vaxxer?
Absolutely.
Ah.
Anti-everything.
Did you know vax?
I think it is a paranoia that happened. I feel that the psychosis of fear, which
It did.
without being a
It
right-winger...
it had different impact on different people. I know a few
It
people
was
who
criminal.
couldn't
Look
make
at
it.
yourself, your business, your entire fraternity. It's just criminal. What are you supposed to do? You might as well shoot each other. It makes no sense. You just shut down society, so there's no trade and commerce happening. I mean, what's the point then?
It was a very dismal time.
Government should have paid. Government should have paid for all of us to sustain ourselves. Your business, etc. My marriages, which is my business, baby, not your business. Fair to say. Only Dr. Rustam Modi could go wherever he wanted to. I have a doctor's sign, a service provider. I can go anywhere I want.
He used to have a doctor's sign and a Zomato t-shirt.
Well, they also had to earn. Patients are dying left, right, and center. You got to turn to another business. Very insensitive, huh? Next one. But you have a few people, who don't, in the restaurant business, who don't like this service charge thing. You get a pushback from a lot of people as well.
We do, because I think that the government came up with an advisory, so it caused a lot of confusion. It's not the law. Nobody can tell a restaurant what they can charge for their services. We are not yet in a communist state. So you charge what you want as long as you
Not
let
yet.
as long as you let your customer know what you're charging them, and if they see the thing,
what is the rate? 12%.
it depends. As long as you could be 10%, it could be 5%. It depends on what you want to charge. But you should let your customers know before they order.
I go with like an age factor. If they're really old service providers and male, 5%. If they're young and female, 17%. And
So you're much more than an equal opportunity employee.
no, I look at the specifics of the dog in the fight. Is it a Rottweiler? Is it a Doberman? That kind of thing. I'm always into that. I want the specifics. I don't think that's a wrong way to
And
think.
the size of fight in the dog.
All that. Yeah, you got my point.
Motivational, bro.
We both studied Rumi. All right. Then Cruyff, the footballer, says, if you had to recreate a cafe mocha for the current crowd, what does that mean? Would you change it? And what would you change? If you had to rebirth it.
Of course, I would have avocado toast.
Shit,
I
don't
wouldn't.
start me
I
off.
wouldn't have regular milk on the menu. Anything that comes out of a teat would not be finding place on a menu.
Oh, there's almond milk nonsense.
Of course.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is this too much of that health
it
crap?
would be
no?
vegan. Sorry.
No, let's be honest. There's too much of the health crap going around. They're just killing the idea of food. The last pleasure as you die is food. You're taking that away. People
Yeah,
just...
but you'll die healthy.
What's the point? I'd rather die 2 years earlier and have a good time. It makes no sense.
That's what Parsis are about. But they just never die.
Parsis don't- True.
It's all the
Everyone's got to have 199 in their family and all. It's got to be one
Good.
for sure.
100 at least.
100, yeah, hitting the big one.
We started a restaurant called Ishara also a while ago, and it was run by speech and hearing impaired people. And it just the service is of a different level, and the kind of communication.
So how do you communicate?
Sign language. That's why it's called Ishara.
Bro, this is like Delhi on a normal day.
Yeah, slightly different signs.
Hopefully you have a better class of customer. Huh. Yeah. So that works. Or you think, what? I think the idea is that the customer then decides to become a better person and actually behave nicely with the staff, in which case communication becomes easier.
Maybe.
Have you heard?
It does help.
You tell
I think
us.
the staff feels, I've spoken to my staff so many times, and they're okay with people yelling at them. They just can't deal with people pretending they don't exist, right? When
No,
people
that's terrible, yeah.
make when they order, they don't make any eye contact. They don't say please, thank you.
And the disdain in the voice that Indians do.
yeah, and
Suno,
and that accent. that
glass
comes in.
saaf karo. That disdain thingy.
Yeah, well, it's changing. Thankfully, it's changing.
We
Things
have
are
to
getting
stop
better.
that. Anybody talks, they should throw them out.
I think just a simple thank you will go a long way in making somebody's day.
I do more. I hug and things like that. Yeah, they've filed cases. I can't.
You just go after the leg.
Absolutely. I'm like glutes day today. Just
Thanks for the
kidding.
tips.
Anti-social, dikra. Soch hai. Anti-social. Okay.
Anti-social.
Do you get that?
Yeah, a lot.
You must be getting everything just
I
completely.
get. Dude, you should have seen the jokes we got during COVID.
Yeah.
Social distancing, come on.
Wow.
It was-
Oh, man. Oh, God. Yeah. The one time you don't find it funny.
Yeah,
Vida,
hilarious.
in a podcast, you said that the menu of Dal Bukhara ITC has not changed since its opening, which I presume is years
That
ago.
was Zorawar. Anyway,
Vida, that was Zorawar, who is not as fine an athlete as young Riyaaz. But what's your view on it anyway? Since
I think
it's a criticism. Like
no, it's not a criticism. I think it's
stay with the same menu.
Stay with the same menu. Apparently, that you can't even move the furniture of that restaurant without getting an approval from the chairman of ITC. It's
But they have a very good name in terms of Indian food, at least from my
and the food has been consistently amazing.
yeah.
It's delicious, and some things I'm glad that some things don't have to change with the times. There's no avocado toast over there.
No avocado toast. But I think there's some signature dishes that from childhood also one would not want to be touched.
Yeah.
Like for me, Jafar Bhai's biryani. I just that's a separate
With potato.
with potato. But that's the way it is. I
That's
would
the way it
hate
should be. Yeah.
if they tweaked it. Chicken roll in paradise and all the 3-4 Parsi joints are all related that used to give this
Paradise still
mayonnaise.
open?
Gone. But Excelsior, I think they're all related. They have a very similar mayonnaise. It's all the
The
mayonnaise.
mayo is
Fantastic.
proper Ida walu mayonnaise.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
But how else should you have it?
Yeah, you get veg mayo now.
No. This really got to you, these vegans, huh? It's really getting to you. Do you have a no vegans sign outside your restaurants? Dogs allowed, vegans, buzz off.
We have a separate vegetarian menu.
The veg is very different. It's a vegan.
Vegan things highlighted with a really nice icon.
Is it a growing breed in India? I know in the West it is.
It is definitely more and more people are turning to vegetarianism. A lot of people are becoming vegan. It is happening.
Rohit says, we love the vibe, food and music at socials and anti-socials.
Socials? Oh, socials.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
correct.
Is
Please
it-
understand, he's sick of this. It's social. They spend a lot of time trying to get the damn name right. It's not socials. Oh.
Without the
But
S.
a lot of the places get this plural, right? When people
Yeah,
talk.
it is a thing.
I'm just
It's,
ghettos. Let's
yeah,
go.
it's a
on.
thing.
Like, God, Indians. We love. What is the weirdest food combo you've seen someone order at your restaurant? You must be bitching about this, yeah.
Biryani
People are-
and ketchup.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who? Did you take a picture?
No.
Who does that?
I want to put that away in the recesses of my memory.
You killed
Thank you for
biryani
bringing
for
it
me.
up.
Do you have a list of really the worst experiences you've seen people, eating in front of you?
I actually a pizza without tomato sauce and cheese.
But
I don't know if they're just doing it to mess with me or what. But, it does happen.
But why no tomato and cheese? What do they eat then? Or what's on?
Yeah, they have some kind of allergy against tomatoes.
But it's bread only then. What-
Yes, it is.
God, how do you manage this business? I'd be aggressive and violent by the end of it. Have you never hit a customer?
Never.
Please do. Do two a day to begin with, then we'll progress upwards.
In our line, we're actually looking for opportunities like that because the more challenging a customer, the more you know that there's an opportunity to win them for life, right? I mean, we kind of look for these challenging kind of aspects, and the more crazier the request, the better chance we have to kind of brush up our hospitality skills a little bit.
Is there any scheme we can do for Toto? Like 25% off for life or something?
Yes, we have many schemes
Yeah.
for executives.
For executive, you go without pants to antisocial and they'll treat you special. Okay? And you don't do service charge.
Drinks free forever.
Drinks free forever, you just pick up things from the floor.
All you have to do is carry a longest Long Island iced tea like this
Yeah.
and walk around.
Yeah. And you have to break up the word Long Island into 3 syllables while presenting it. I'm sorry, Riyaaz. Tata, I'm sorry. We're just fooling around. You're a kid, so we have to have some fun. We're a little older now. It's just old people trying to be young and looking stupid. Don't pay attention. Yeah. So as we say bye to Riyaaz, let's ask him what. This is the most cliche question, but I had to ask it. Favorite dish for you, if you had to choose? Or I'll give you 3, 4 because I think it's damn tough to have one.
Mora dal chawal.
No.
Sorry. You tell me what my favorite dishes are.
Dal chawal. That
Mora dal chawal.
okay.
Oh, don't tell me you don't like it.
No.
Come on.
If I had to go Parsi, I'd go dansak first. Mutton, proper. Dandar for sure.
What dandar,
Yeah, but the works. And I would go with this thing. Farsha.
Sali margi.
Sali margi, yes. Depends on who makes
Russian
it.
cutlets.
I love Russian cutlets.
With that roti.
Oh. And the achar, of course.
Mm.
The achar has to go. with
Lagan
everything.
no.
There's nothing for diet people in Parsi food.
But Parsis don't need that.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's nothing. You can't. Kachumbar. You give them a kachumbar and that's about it. And after that, everything has got it's sweet, it's heavy, it's oily, it's everything. Yeah?
Yeah.
There's nothing left. And Conti, what would you, that meat that's not allowed?
Yeah. That's
For
the
sure.
one. That's the one.
And rare. And the meat is rare, plus you want it rare.
Medium rare.
No, Baba. There's a
Medium.
huge difference in texture.
And medium.
Daughter, you like rare or medium rare? What a pussy. Sorry, Bengali. Pussy! He doesn't mind. It's good fun. Then in Chinese, you're a South Asian guy. How come you haven't gone for your Chinese restaurant? Is that next?
We might be doing a Thai restaurant.
Oh, I love Thai. Excellent.
I think Bangkok is really banging right now. So
Was that necessary? Riyaaz, after 1 hour, 10 minutes of our rubbish, we had to go there. Okay. Let's end with our best Rustam Modi impression. That'll be great.
smoke and pork, darling.
Yeah. Riyaaz is a great friend. He wanted me to be a partner. Kiran, in fact, told me, but I had no money at that time. One of my biggest regrets.
I said, you think it's your biggest regret?
No, but we were partners briefly.
Really?
Yeah.
As in the restaurant?
No, in the house.
I guess we've reached that point where we can't revive the show. The patient is in coma. This is it. We can't get any better. We'll just carry him out. Social, anti-social, all the salt waters in the world, the mochas and what more. Mr. Riyaaz Amlani.
Yay!
Yeah, but we'll put it in later.
Acha.
Hold your
A
hand
loud
up.
applause.
Do it, yeah. Wow. You're ready for politics now.
That's this.
See, that depends on which part of India you're in. The younger ones have started putting their hands up
Yeah,
and all
nice.
that. Yeah. Yeah. It's also a signal to take them home. It's too much now. Yeah. All right. And we'll say bye. He'll end with a song because he's also a very accomplished singer. Go ahead. No? To
You got
my
that
twin,
wrong.
I'll play the mandolin on the shores of Nepal's Bay. Valentina, Valentina, on the shores of Nepal's Bay. I'm trying to revive your Parsi memories.
Yeah. No.
Valentina was a very favorite song.
Khali Bangla.
What the hell, yaar? Why do
You know the Bangla thing, no?
Tell me.
You don't know?
No.
Every Parsi wedding, come on.
What is Biangla?
So you go to the bar
Huh.
and you have that whiskey glasses, and
Bear,
then
huh.
they give how much would you like? I said, only Bangla.
Biangla. This is like Patiala ka
And
half.
as they're starting to pour, they go like that. And you go,
Okay. That's fair. Cheers.
yeah.